Hey, Thronsec, thanks for the follow. Yeah. Hey, Keebs, thank you so much, dude. Big Keebs with the raid. Great way to start off the morning. Thronseg, my guild is actually just me. It's just a convenient way for people to see that I prefer them not to help me out. What's going on, Magic? How's it going, Tamina? Dude, this null is actually pretty tough for a level 25. Man, hanging out in Keebs' stream and talking about Gates of Discord has me really wanting to play Gates of Discord now. It's very tempting. Just go in there with like 20 chrono and twink out a Zerker like crazy and power level him up. We never have any expansions that go back to Teologia, right? Like that's a whole continent on Norath that we don't do much more to explore after its initial expansion. Are me, you, and Keebs all gonna do Berserkers? Maybe VOA does. I never messed around with VOA, so I'm not sure. I know there's other content that deals with like the Discordians and the Muramites and stuff, but I don't know if there was any that like went back to the continent of Teologia. I want to go back and do the breakdown and communication quest line now that I'm like reading into the lore of it and stuff. Let's see what our Bind Wound does now. $762 to $809. Alright, so we actually have acquired all 4 of the scrolls to do the Gem Inlaid Gauntlets quest, but I didn't want to do it off stream, so now that we're here, we'll go knock that out. I've never played a Zerker before. We had some Zerkers in Faceless on Cello that parsed pretty well. It's good to hear that it's not monks for at least a little bit. Is there a new keyring command? So I noticed when I do my keyring, it doesn't show me like a list of zones that I have keyrings flagged for. It just brings up that stupid window. See, I just get this. Oh, okay, just key. If I get nothing, I assume that means I don't have anything on my keyring, right? I was hoping that these unrest keys would keyring. Ah, I see. It means I gotta carry them on me the whole time I'm in unrest. Rip. Alright, so we're right around 100 plat, which means we should get at least one attempt at plate legs. We've kind of got a small backlog of trade skilling to do. Here are 3 other scrolls. Make all of our thread. Oh, it's crazy. It lets me do like recipe combines while I have items in the kit. So now we take our skinning knife and reduce all of our animal hides to low quality. Can I move while I do this? Looks like no. You said Gates of Discord launches next week? Oh yeah, definitely Thronseg. We're at like 7 or 8 days played right now. It might take 15 more days played. Catalyst, thanks for the follow. Oh, we've got some kind of bug going on here. Maybe zoning will fix it. I don't know if you guys saw that silk thread just vanished off my cursor when I clicked it. Now whenever I click this, it automatically puts it back in my inventory. Dude, calendar is such a convenient command that I always forget about. Hopefully zoning will just put this item I'm bugged out with on my cursor. We got a camp. Hey, good morning, Viral Ostrich. Welcome back. Oh, check it out, it's snowing. One of the cool things about the guards in Kanos is every couple hours of in-game time, they shift. Most of them will despawn and respawn as different guards to kind of like give the feeling that there's a guard shift change. And it's not even tied to just like day-night cycles. Oh no. Okay, the item went here. That's alright. Usually they start the bonus on like the Thursday or the Friday. So yeah, so we got 4th of July on a Saturday. I would expect the bonus to start on like Thursday or Friday and it to end on Sunday. It's going to be a short duration. So if you wanted to level up on Mangler in preparation for Gates, that's definitely the time. Man, we actually have a huge plat deficit right now. To get the level 30 AUG from this guy, it's 130 plat. And then we're kind of low on bandages. It'd be good to be able to buy like 500 more bandages. Oof, just the mold is 20 plat. What's up, Rect? I probably won't do Gates of Discord. I mean, not on Mangler. I just won't have the time. Well, once I finish this last piece, Liak, then we'll be done. What's going on, Rect? Not totally unexpected. I think I am 55 or 60 points away from trivial on this. I really should just stop being dumb and make a bunch of bracers to skill up. Like, I could have done 3 bracer combines for that same price. In fact, it would have been a little bit cheaper, I think. I'm doing good, man. We are about to embark on the quest for the Gem Inlaid Gauntlets. I finally got all of my pieces for it. Viral Ostrich, right now I think I'm pretty focused on EQ. Like, there's other games I'd love to stream, but I'm even worse at those games than I am at EQ. So I'm not sure what I would like really bring to the table to make it worth watching me play those games. But I would love to be able to like stream some kind of Dark Souls games or some retro like Super Nintendo games that are pretty challenging and pull similar viewers to what we get here. I just don't think it'll happen. Yep, these are good. Thanks, man. I'm glad to hear that. So this next part is actually sort of risky. My faction with the Circle of Unseen Hands is pretty low. I don't think I'm KOS, but we've got to go into Crow's Pub, which is sort of like the den of the Rogues Guild here. So I got really into retro game collecting keeps when I was in Japan, and they're super cheap there. So fortunately, I've got like the majority of the games I would want to play. Yeah, Fat Pat, I'm running hardcore SSF on this Paladin right here. Thanks, yeah, that's why we chose Pally. Oh, by the way, folks, we have 2 new chat commands. We have !purple for when people want to see the Purple Club pieces that we accumulate. And then we also have !gear, and it'll give you a link to my raid loot profile, and you can check out my gear, which I'll update after every stream. So we're looking for Umvara Dakesh. I think he's normally here. Oh, you know what? He's in the one in South Kanos. He's in the Fish's Ale. Or maybe he's in the back of the Lion's Mane Inn, that bar. We'll see. He's in one of them. Fat Pad and Ernie Burr, thank you very much for following. Yeah, check it out. I'll put it in for you. My current plate on this character is 8 days and 5 hours. So it is by no means a fast run. But a lot of that is working on gear. Our gear is honestly really sick for our level. Like, if you inspected me, you definitely wouldn't think, looking at my gear, that I'm solo. I don't really know if there's any haste items I can really try to get. Like Frenzy, even at 49, I think would be pretty challenging. Definitely can't get a Swirl Spine belt. I don't think the Mold Master is in the game, otherwise I could go for Mold Master gloves. Is that what you were thinking of, Keeps? You know what? I might be able to do that. He's not on the find list. Pied, thank you so much for cheering with the 500 bits. Big Pied. Okay, so I looked it up. I cheated, and it says that he's by the bank now, in the herb jar. Last time we heard this song, we went purple. Back in Paw. Yeah, so I was thinking that it wasn't the one by the bank because that's where the other guy is. Edvard Tommels, who you get the Tear of Karana for like the same quest. See, this is the wrong guy to turn it into. What, Zaide? Do I look like a merchant to you? Just because all these merchants are in my library, it doesn't mean that I'm one. If you're interested in something other than spell scrolls, then we can talk. Ah, so you do have half a wit about you. Very well. As you can clearly see, I'm the librarian here. I keep track of all the mystic tomes that enter this divine building. I also take care of all the purchasing. Have you something to offer? Excellent. You have no idea how difficult it is to get good help these days. Do you have the time to gather some information for me? Interesting. It looks like they have like some spontaneous quest text in the back there. No, it's for like newbie quest, rat whiskers, bat fur, that kind of stuff. Even better, we still know little to nothing of the origins of the gnolls from Splitpaw. If you can bring me back the 4 scrolls that our diviners speak of, I believe I can reward you well. I recommend you search Southern Karana. Fortunately, we happen to have the 4 scrolls. NPCs no longer eat items, for the most part. If you turn in like a quest item they take without the appropriate stuff, it's possible that it could get eaten. Like the other guy that I was worried about, he does take these scrolls just for a separate quest line, so they would get consumed there. So let's try to read these before we hand them all in. Volume 1, History of the Varishimal. We were forged from the earth by the hands of our Lord, Brel Ceralis. He molded us into an image that suited him, but we were good? I don't know. Such is our role, to learn and expand, and be one with the underworld. We were born to know many things, and we shall. Our Lord told us that we spared, avoided the curse of the others, and for this we are grateful. I'm not sure what this little section here is. All right, volume 2. Let's try to re-roll this. Hard to read that one. All right, our forefathers gave us many tasks to better us. We learned the way of the sword and the way of magics. I think this is magics because in the scroll they spell magics with a K, even in the correct version. At each test we were victorious, and for a time grew prosperous. In time we grew to be a large something, and created a ruthless empire that spanned many a mile. Our worth was broken down into a caste system, and many were made slaves. Pact. Yeah, Viral Ostrich. These are written in Null, and my Nullish skill is not good enough to like read them perfectly, so we can sort of make them out. Good call on Pact, Rect. Oh, look, this is the Hisawi of Thid Vigrishi Bill. The Varishimal were then ruled by the Ishvamal, our stern rulers. In the old tongue, Ishva meant supreme, and Mal meant leader. Maybe that's it. Beneath the Ishva were the something and the Tesh. Okay, so he's just going over the caste system of the Ishvamal. We've got the Tesh. We've got the... There's 3 different castes. The Nish. And it's just basically like warriors, casters, and rogues. And the Nish, the spiritual leaders of the Varishimal. Shortly after the the Nish formed a council of 9 that still rules us to this day. Okay, so for wherever the Torn Ear clan came from, they were, at the time, ruled by a council of 9. I wonder if it's intended that these be harder to read. Like maybe there's a higher skill threshold for each one as it progresses. The Council of 9 has ruled us faithfully for many a year now. Is this we fight for... No, something in our lives. And vow not to harm another. There are so many questions. Is this questions maybe? Oh, okay, wait. We re-rolled it. There are still many factions. Sorry, my wife is also trying to decipher it behind me. There are still many factions that wish to return to the old ways. but the current council has opposed those ideas in chamber. They suspect at this time that there may be someone who something here within the council to something return the Varishi Mall to the I don't know what this last bit is, especially this bottom GT here. The old ways. All right, good job guys, we made it through the scrolls very painfully. Oh, let's see how much EXP we get for completing this very challenging quest. We're at 62.568. Hey, we gained 0.001. Oh man, how dumb do we feel right now? We turn him in and he gives us a translated copy. RIP. They suspect at this time that there may be someone working within the council to return the Vrishi to the old ways. This must not happen at any cost. It's about time. Let's see here. Right. Very good, right. There you are. I translated the text. Now the scrolls need to be bound. Take these scrolls to Jaron Felkis in Freeport. I believe he is staying in one of the spare rooms in Velith and Bardo's establishment. He will ensure that they are bound correctly. Return to me when the binding is complete. To be honest, I'm not excited about running to Freeport and then returning to this guy in South Kanos. I know the last step is also in Butcher Block Mountains, so we're about to run to Freeport, then origin back here, then run to Butcher Block. Hey, thanks for the follow, Pyrotexas. I missed it while I was doing all the quote translations. But it is very much appreciated. Oh, I'm definitely gonna throw this thing in strafe and auto run the whole way there. Yeah, shared bank would be nice right now. The worst part of the quest is going to be the fact that we have to go to Freeport and look for someone in this new Freeport. Hey, good morning, Owen. Yeah, strafing is a clean 10%. Normally our velocity is 30. With strafing it is 31, or 33, sorry. Stupid invisible walls. On the plus side, since the final step is in Butcher Block, we'll be right by Unrest, which is kind of where we plan to grind out the next couple levels anyway. So yeah, if you didn't know this, normal mobs cannot catch you while you're strafe running like this. Some mobs which have increased movement speed, like giants or werewolves, will still catch you, of course. They're like Spirit Wolf speed usually. But if you're in a dungeon just pulling and you strafe run, you usually won't get hit during your pull. Or if you need to bail out to the zone line, strafe running will usually get you there without dying. Alright, Wrecked, local lore on Western Karana. Alright, so something that most people don't really look into, and it's never really explicitly stated in the game, is that there is somewhat of a werewolf problem in Western Karana. Of course, most people will be familiar with the werewolves that spawn around midnight-ish. Usually you'll run into them by the zone line to Kanos Hills here. But there's also a rare mob here called a Werewolf Bandit. It drops kind of terrible loot, but the point here is that it helps imply that lycanthropy is spread, right, via probably bites or something of that effect, and that it is spreading in Western Karana. We have the two normal werewolves that spawn in the zone every night, and then we also have 1 to 2 werewolf bandits, which are, I believe, a slightly lower level. They spawn in one of these bandit camps, usually at night. Actually, I think they could spawn even during the day. So perhaps the bandits have fallen prey to the werewolves a few times, or perhaps the bandits are simply willing to take some of the outcasts of society into their ranks. Maybe a little bit of both. Another little thing, because I feel like every time we go through West Karana, I end up talking about the plague and the Karanas. I want to avoid hitting the same lore notes every time. So another thing, we have this farm down here that you could see to the south. There's a few NPCs there that are pretty cool. You guys probably already know the millers that hang outside of Surefall Glade. Those are the adopted children of the family that lives here. And they also have an ogre, and a Gnoll Sun. They've got Furball Miller and Tiny Miller. Tiny Miller is, of course, the ogre. Furball is the Gnoll. So the Millers over here are quite the tolerant patch of humans. And if you go around and help them, they have some quests you can do on the farm, like picking up hay and stuff. You can quickly come to realize that their only true son is kind of a piece of crap, and he like hates doing hard work and stuff. For his part, Furball Miller talks about how like he wishes they could bridge the gap between gnolls and humans, and he's kind of like a testament to the fact that there could one day be peace between the Black Burrow gnolls, the saber-toothed gnolls, and the humans of Kanos. If you go over there and talk to Furball Miller one day, he's got a cool series of like quest. It's not really quest, but he's got a good lengthy bit of lore that he'll provide you through a series of hails. Doesn't really lead anywhere or connect to anything. I managed to hit the one tree. Yeah, the Common Lands is another place that has a werewolf. The South Karana werewolf has a higher level werewolf than the ones that we fight here. The werewolves in West Karana, I think, are all level 25. And then the bandit werewolves are like 22 to 23 maybe. Spent a good number of hours hunting them for this cloak. Just kind of tab through this since we have some time while we run there, and we can see the perfectly translated version. So I wonder what he means when he talks about we suffered not the curse of the others, since none of the other Gnoll races were cursed that we know of. Maybe they're talking about goblins. A lot of goblins worship Brel. That's why you'll see like Brel's image painted all over Solasec A. So maybe they're talking about the curse that befell the goblins when they were part of the Relosian army. Yeah, Ishva means supreme, Mal means ruler. I don't know if there's a lore connection between the werewolves and Mistborn here. It seems like very Mayong-esque that he would be the one who, intentionally or not, birthed lycanthropy into the world of Norath. Yeah, the lore behind the EC tunnel. Actually, there is lore that came somewhere way later about the tunnel in EC. Hey, good morning, Chase. Yeah, Fine Plate is feeling nice. Thronsec, I do. So you know, it's interesting, when you're in PA and you're fighting, there's 3 tiers of mobs within every NPC type. There is the Moss, which is like the lowest one. There's the Maul, which is the middle one. And then there's the Vol, which is the highest one. And they always correspond to very tight level brackets. So the fact that the leader of the Tornir clan is known as the Ishva Maul tells us there must be like somewhere, either historically or maybe mythologically in the mythos of the Gnolls, an Ishva Val, right? Because there's one rung above Maul that we know of for sure. Yeah, Liak, that's a good point. Do we see werewolves in Luckland? So the lore has always suggested that the gypsies we see are kind of like remnants of the Combine Empire, which is why they sell Combine weapons. And it is mostly gypsies that are the werewolves in Mistmoor. And I know there's a huge vampire thing in Kata. So maybe there's like this vampire werewolf subplot going on. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, working on all kinds of little small upgrades that most people would never touch. So beneath the Ishva, there was the Rosh, the Tesh. The Rosh are the... okay. And above them were the Nish, the spiritual leaders. The Rosh are the casters, right? And the Tesh are like the warriors. Okay, so here we actually have a titled Gnoll with Vol in it. The Nish Vol formed a Council of 9. And we know Vol is higher than Maul. I'm pretty sure as we do this quest, if you read all the books, you find out that the Ishvamal kind of like became an outcast. He betrayed the Council of 9 and fled with the Tornir clan because he wanted to live by the old ways, naturally. When we turn this in, we're going to get another book called the Paw Book, which has different text and goes into greater detail. There's always a chance that we run into an Evil Eye in here and get wrecked. We might be able to beat an Evil Eye now. Hey, Enough Man, thanks for the follow, dude. Accidentally initiated a backwards strafe auto run there for a sec. If you ever need spider silk, these guys drop like 6 to 8 silks per kill. Yeah, you're right. With the increased MR and my Endure magic buff, I might be able to handle one pretty easily, because I have a huge level gap on them now. Look at good old Hibber Mucktail. There's a ton of named gnolls over here that no one ever kills, basically, because they're not itemized. Mechanic, Naraven, Burra, Chief, Sanre Rexa. Not one of them drops a unique item. For those of you who missed it, we blew a clean 80 plat on attempting fine plate legs this morning. Failed and did not get a skill up either. We really need to save up about 140 plat to buy our new augment. Every 10 levels you get a new augment tier. This is one of the coolest areas in the game, I think. Yeah, Vice. You know, it actually helped me. Hey, so Spence Striker, we're doing the Gem Inlaid Gauntlets quest right now. We have our Tesh Vol compilation, and we are taking it to Freeport to have the book bound properly. I think we'll also pick up the PA book there and take it back to South Kanos. And then from South Kanos, we should get a note, and we'll run that note to Butcher Block, at which point we will get our gauntlets. Hey, good morning, Grizzly. How's it going, dude? You know, Vice, the guild tag actually helped me a few times already. Some guy came up and was going to heal me, and then he sent me a tell after ducking and said, I was going to heal you, but I saw your guild. Yeah, falling right now would be a pretty embarrassing way to end this run. Auto strafe running off a cliff in East Corona. Probably a ranger. If we do another SSF run, a ranger. If I do like a non-SSF run just to level something up on stream, I'd want to do a necro or a rogue, probably. SSF rogue would be definitely the hardest class. I would get the Sword of Morin and the PGT. Yeah, there's no question. Rogue's the hardest for sure. Having backstab become kind of unreliable. You're going to be worse DPS than like a warrior sometimes, especially when they're hitting those crippling blows. You're not going to be able to tank as well as a warrior. Hey Z Mills, we are level 30. Almost 31. Yeah, before we started a ranger, I'd have to do a lot of research just to kind of plot my initial path. Paladins have access to some of the best starting weapon quests and stuff. Rangers would definitely be a little bit tougher. I could do like a forged rapier or I could camp some like really janky rare mobs in Butcher Block or Lesser Fate Arc for a chance at a magic weapon there. Yeah, you can strafe for the solo backstabs. But boy, doing that for 50 levels would sure not be fun. I guess 41 levels or whatever, but you know what I mean. Oh yeah, we would just blast through this on a Necromancer. Spin Striker, in some ways I do, in some ways I don't. I think they have made some positive changes to EverQuest over the years that you don't see on P99. Like, normally on P99 and, you know, back in OG Classic, if you were a hybrid, you had to wait till level 9 before you got your first spell. Now that spell ramp is kind of smoothed out, so it's a little bit more even. I think that's better. I think that's a positive change. I don't know that hybrids really need an EXP penalty. Especially when you look at, like, okay, they level slower, but when they get to 50, they're always kind of a second fiddle to a warrior, at least after Classic. I don't mind the maps. I kind of like not having maps, because when I have them, I feel so compelled to use them, even though I like the zones, I know the zones, you know what I mean? I definitely like all the pre-revamped zones and graphics. On P99 much better. Case in point, High Pass. Yeah, I like it better without maps. I like the player-made maps and stuff a little bit better. Yeah, dude. See, like, maps fix the problem of Freeport, which is in itself its own problem. Enog, thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the new High Pass. So, you know, some areas actually look really good if you're going into, like, the taverns and stuff. We were in them, what was it, yesterday, guys? They looked great. But the overall thing is just like, why is it so smooth? Why is High Pass this smooth? I think maps were cooler, like when they first came out with, what was it? Was it Eldon or no? It was Legacy Yakesha, right? That we got maps. I remember running around on my Bard at the time and making zone maps. And I thought that was really cool. Oh yeah, let's do this. Look at this luck. Will this guy drop the Shralik pack? I think that would improve the map. What I would love, like, here's the ideal map system. Mapping is a trade skill. It gets better the more you skill it up. When you map something, you like literally create a map, a physical object which you can trade to players and sell. Hopefully this is a bag, not a halberd. Or a DA idol. DA idol is lore, I already have one in my bags. I don't think he drops anything. Like, I don't recognize his name as a rare mob that drops loot, but it's just so weird that he's named. There might be a few orcs that can drop some of the stuff. About to find out. Rip. You guys ready for that shiny brass halberd lore? Bet you didn't know there was any. Man, somebody killed the guards. If I did a Necro SSF, dude, honestly, Necro is so powerful. You could just go over wherever you wanted. I would go off of like top Zems probably. I would definitely do Kedge in the higher levels. SSF, yeah, I would do Kedge. Great, it's midnight, perfect timing. So there actually is shiny brass halberd lore. Oh no, did I do that twice? Rip. I mean, it's not like a crazy amount of lore or anything, but basically shiny brass halberds are created by the orcs or pillaged. I forget how they acquire them, but they're like a known thing in the orc communities and they're highly coveted. So if an orc owns a shiny brass halberd, you can be sure that by orcish standards, he's considered a very fierce warrior, because if he wasn't, or if he gets old and weak, the other orcs will straight up murder that dude to steal his shiny brass halberd. I want to make sure my Gina is working. I think you need like the message though. This will tell us. Alright, we're good. I like the classic spell gems, but as you go on, it gets really tough to use them because there's not enough unique ones, you know what I mean? I did a TLP where I used a pretty classic UI for most of it, like all the way up to almost Gates of Discord, and it became such a nightmare trying to tell which buffs I had on me at a glance. I got so sick of just tabbing over all my buffs and checking what I had that I just went to like a normal one. Oh yeah, that's a huge one. Being able to save sets of spells and switching them on the fly is really nice. All right, we've got Lay on Hands up, IVU up, DA idle prepared. Our odds of surviving are about as good as they can get. Fat, I cannot. I don't trade, I don't accept buffs, I don't take binds, not that that would matter, and I don't get ports. And we have run all the way from Kanos to Achenon a few times. There is a chance that if we encounter a Dreadwolf, I could just straight up kill it or root it and run. That's good to know. That one over there cons blue. No, I can't buy any items from players. I can't buy items from vendors that are not the default vendor stock either. So like if you sell an enchanted platinum bar to a vendor, I can't buy that bar off of them. Oh, are they high MR? Honestly, it's kind of crazy to be running through here and see like mobs that I could potentially kill if things went bad. I'm so used to this just being like a dead zone for me. No, I didn't do it on P99, Enug. There are definitely things that would make it harder on P99, and there are things that would make it that are a little easier than what you do on TLP on P99. The biggest thing I can think of on P99 that would be easier is that you can bind wound during combat. The no guard help will just make it take a lot longer. But honestly, I don't know that soloing on here is actually faster than soloing on P99 in the first place. I know that's a controversial opinion, but yeah, I mean, when I leveled on P99 solo, I didn't find it to be a very slow experience. Oh yeah, and the quest EXP nerf is huge. I've never been able to turn in a quest for any amount of EXP that was worth talking about. Like, if you turn in the scrolls, the Teshval scrolls, which are really good EXP on P99, you get less than 1/1000% EXP. Like, I'd have to turn in 1,000 scrolls to get 1%. Z Mills, thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, Chewy, we'll have to come up with something crazy as my final challenge. Maybe I'll just attempt to do like all the raids. I'll just tag along on some guild as they're fighting Nagath, and I'll swing some swords at it. Yeah, wine is like one of the least nerfed ones. Dude, Crushbone belts give you nothing. Totally worthless. Even Legionnaire shoulder pads.
Invis dropping on Zaide's.
Sorry about the brief silence there. I had a work call. Of course, this guy's not on our find list, so we're gonna have to do some digging. I think he's right here. Hey, I just pick zoned. So they made this change in game where if you pick zone, it puts you to the sucker point of that zone. So you always know that Common Lance is gonna have a pick open because of the tunnel. So yeah, I just type pick and boom, right there. I don't know how I lost 3 endurance. Yeah, I can. I mean, there's really no loopholes to the rules because I made the rules up, you know what I mean? It's solo, which means I kill every mob alone to the best of my ability. If someone jumps in and DPS races me, which is kind of something we've seen happen a time or two, I can't really control that. But I also never group with anyone. I never take any buffs, never take any ports. If it seems like someone is trying to game the system, like maybe someone's trying to hook me up by losing DPS races to me, then like I politely ask them to stop. And if they don't, then we'll just go somewhere else, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be somewhere or do something where someone is gonna compromise the run with kindness. Sever, I'm surprised that you got 40% off the belts. I turned in a bunch of belts. I did it, I'm pretty sure it's on stream somewhere in one of the old VODs. And I didn't get like anything. Even with the Crushbone shoulder pads, which used to be like even better than belts, I didn't get much. This guy's very friendly. Ah, greetings, traveler. Settled into one of these rooms, have you? Well, this room is mine, so get out. Hey, wait. You aren't here to deliver a shipment of books to me, are you? Ooh, look, we got some quest text that wasn't highlighted. Oh, I typically receive a monthly shipment of books from Umvera Takesh. I hear he has recently been promoted to senior librarian in Aruden. What a vaulted position. I could only aspire. I'm not going to be binding books forever, you know. So you are from Umvara. What is this? Oh my, interesting. I'll bind them right away. A little snip here, a little snip there, all done. That didn't take long, did it? I won't be doing this forever, you know. After the militia burned down my father's home, he could not afford to send me through proper schooling. Ah well, such is life. So it's interesting. He, quote, bound this book and hands it back, and it's got an entirely different set of text. Dude, I get nervous about that. I'm like, is today the day that I accidentally attack one of these NPCs while talking to them? All right, back we go. This isn't a gate. This is an ability called Origin, which all classes have. It allows you to, once every 17 minutes, I guess, 18 minutes, you can return to your bind, like not your bind point, to your origin point, the point where your character spawned on character creation. I should rebind my attack to A just to be classic. Alright, before we turn this in, let's check it out. This is the PA book. My brethren, today we embark on a journey that will lead us past the boundaries of our known world. It is by our choice that we make this journey, to discover new lands and to make a new home for ourselves. It is an honor to call you countrymen and friends. Let us rejoice in our accomplishments as we take the lands of our pitiful brothers and show them the way of the true knoll. Be well, my brothers, and may the gods guide your hands. Ishva Varishival. So there, we were right, actually. Maybe this is the predecessor of the Ishva Mal that leads the Tornir clan now, because he's got the Val title, which is the highest title in the Nolish culture. Teshval. So Tesh is the warrior caste. You must recover from the archives the incantation to speed our transit to the new continent. Let not one of the council members see you, or you will surely be slain. You must complete this task I have laid before you, or they will eventually find us and slay us. The accursed council knows of my location, so I must be off. Slay the messenger of this note when you have finished reading it. Good journey to you, my faithful. Ishva. So this must have been like the highest warrior, Teshval. Roshval. Our plans have failed. We must escape this continent or risk being slain by the other elders on the council. My place upon the council was forfeit once it became known that I practiced the dark magics. We must quicken our search for the maps. If we are unable to find the spell which will open the gate to Antonica, then we must acquire another means of travel. Ishva. Fear not, my brethren. We have taken this home, and we shall make it our own. Use what resources we have to establish ourselves here. Care not about the Theth, for they are inferior. They are our inferiors. I think Theth is the word that they use for the split paw gnolls, the ones who originally inhabited paw. Use their goods, use their services, and use their skins if need be. In time, we shall feel our former glory. Ishk Kalhobra. Fascinating. So that's cool though, because it shows us that they came from somewhere not Antonica, and we don't specifically know where. They wanted to open up a gate to Antonica via spell. So I wonder where it might have been that they originated. Umvara Dakesh says, "You have returned safely. That is wonderful. Where the heck is my book, child?" "In my hands, I see. Such a bright little twinkle you are. Well, let me scribble something down on this pad here. There you are. Take this note to Dirkus Battlemore in the Butcher Block Mountains. He is a remarkable smith, but more importantly, he owes me for his smithing books." Note is sealed, so of course we cannot open it and read it. Hey, we got that swimming skill up. Yeah, I wonder what Ish Kalhobra means. I don't remember what my EXP was. Oh, rip. Didn't mean to buy an extra 20 there. Meant to buy bandages. Honestly, that's incredible EXP by TLP Quest XP standards. Thanks for doing the legwork on that, Sepher. I'm so jealous of the Spirit of Wolf. I wonder if we'll see a big jump in EXP with this final turn in. You know what'll be cool? If we get to run through Kithcore during the daytime. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably like 0.2. Yeah, I can IVU, but you never know when IVU is gonna drop, or when you'll run into a wolf. I'm not sure. I'm not super like well versed on alchemy. Maybe Spirit of Wolf potions were in during Classic. Unfortunately, Spirit of Wolf potions can only be crafted via alchemy, which is strictly a shaman trade skill. You need to be a level 20 shaman to partake. I know they changed like the stacking methodology across the years. Like it used to be like there was like 10 dose versions and I don't know, all kinds of changes. You know, Setver, the Watchman boots are actually not in right now. They're coming in the next patch. So the guy who is the final turn-in for the Watchman boots is linked to some of the out-of-era armor quests, which were added later. And the GMs, or the devs a couple years ago, I think actually almost 10 years ago now, just deleted him from Classic on TLP servers. And no one ever reported the fact that this old Watchman's Boots quest was actually missing as a result of that. But one of our buddies adventuring reported it on this server, and so Prathen confirmed that it's fixed internally and it'll be going in with the next patch. Yeah, me and him were both going to do it. Luckily, I found out it was broken before I did all the factioning, because you have to have good faction. I think you need amiable with the gem cutters or something. You running into some trouble out there, Village Bikes? Jeez, dude. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can't trust them. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder how many people. I wonder how many people would cry about it on the forums and ask for it to be fixed. Chances of completing a rogue SSF. I think it might be easier to complete rogue SSF on like P99 than here because you could do questing. Like in theory, a rogue could level up off of nulls outside of paw to 50. You could just keep turning in those scrolls as your primary quest reward method. And they could also bind during combat. Like ultimately, thanks to Quest EXP, any class can do solo self-found permadeath to 50 without deaths. It's just like how willing are you, especially on TLP servers, how willing are you to look at like 1,000 turn-ins per percent? Was that on P99 turnip? Did he bother to track how many times he did the quest? It is a literal rerun. Because scum people like me would farm up like 10,000 of a quest item and turn them all in at once when Kunark opened to try to level to 60 instantly. Killrisk, thanks for the follow. Yeah, red wine is super nerfed, but it's one of the most bearable ones to do because you just invest a little plat, it takes like 5 minutes, and then you can turn in 4,000 red wine at a time. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I can see why they nerfed some of them. The ones where the items stack to 1,000, so you can kind of exploit them. But Crushbone belts, which stack to nothing, like the most you could turn in, I don't know. You could only turn in 4 at a time, you know what I mean? It's crazy that Crushbone belts got nerfed. Ooh, it's gotta feel bad when you're trying to train someone on a necromancer and you get killed. Embarrassing. Yeah, I wish they had done a more tailored solution. For at least the next 10 to 15 more minutes, that gear listing is correct. Once we get these gauntlets, it'll be wrong. I remember on P99, Null Teeth used to be really good. When I did green, they were still pretty good, so I can only imagine how great they must have been before the nerf. Man, that sucks. Have you camped them much, or was it just like you try to tag them when you're rolling through? Ah, I see. I'm not sure about the Scarecrow illusion item in West Corona. Sounds reasonable. I wonder if it's faster to run through Lake Wrath. Like do North Corona, South Corona, Lake Wrath. Probably not, because then you're like Wrath Mountains, Fiorot, Enethul, all the rows. Yeah, it's dumb. Right now we're doing our final turn-in for this Gauntlet quest, which takes place in Butcherblock Mountains. And then after that, we'll most likely go farm some EXP in Unrest. Yeah, the Plague in the Karanas. That was a really cool event. That was like one of the coolest times in EQ. Like it felt like the world was really like changing. Things like those GM events back in the day really did a lot to make the world feel alive. It felt like you were part of the story of Norath when you partook. Maybe I should just abandon the Fine Plate Greaves and instead get Shin Greaves. They're super common, they're free, they have 5 disease resist, the same weight, and -2 AC. What's going on, Matt? Yeah, Shingreaves are way easier. I can start putting my money towards rubies. Dude, it's crazy to think that I could spend 1,000 plat just trying to make the Greaves alone. Aren't the Shingreaves black? Yeah, but I can go kill a Froglock Ghoul without much difficulty. See, you're taking all the brute choppers. That way, I'll get that that earring after like 2 turn-ins, dude. Good looks. Isn't there a way for me to preview like what an item looks like when I would wear it? Or is that only when you're using DBG store crap? There we go. That's our final form. Thanks, Bingerfang. Is that you, Lord Zev? Nice name. Ooh, that griffin is moving. Makes me want to kind of be careful out here. I could die. No, I can't do the row armor. The row armor quests all require enchanted platinum bars. And I can't enchant platinum, so it would be impossible for me to do under the current rules. Nice. Yeah, I bet that thing just tears through spiders. Falstaff, they don't. The EXP curve was smoothed out. Still the same amount of EXP as ever, I suppose, but it's distributed evenly. And that was done by Ellie Droth while he was still a dev. Yeah, I enjoyed hell levels because the next couple levels after a hell level always felt so great. Yeah, I think 59 was like the worst level, right? I mean, it makes sense. Should be. You just got to change your mindset and go like, okay, I'm going to log in today and my goal is to get 1 bubble of EXP tonight. And then 5 days later, you're done. Unless you're racing, you know what I mean, and you're trying to grind it out as fast as you possibly can. And then you have to suffer. Yeah, Corners is actually not great EXP at 50, 51 plus. The mobs there are a lot lower level than you unless you're in like Paw Buster camp. And that's 5 mobs, you know what I mean? It's not an incredible camp. 4 mobs even. You got to do Deep Chardock, Jugs, and Reets, and Shrooms, or like Howling Stones. Dude, I can't even imagine doing Soul B to 60. That's crazy. I thought Soul B was getting too slow at 45. Yo, what's up, Nick? How's it going, dude? Nope, I'm thinking of Soul B. By 45, I was ready to move on to a better camp than Afridi. On TLP servers, I'm talking though. I'm not talking about P99. Do people level up in like Skyfire a lot on P99? Just like soloing, kiting things around? Nice. Yeah, I know as a Necro on P99, I always had to be careful to not let my pet out DPS me. It was kind of a pain to manage at times. I don't know how the skeletons are on P99 Rect, but on this server, they're not KOS, which is really weird. Like, they conned in different to my Paladin. We're almost there. We get through High Pass, and then it'll be really close. Because we're going to run through Kith. We're just going to pick zone through Common Lands. And then we'll hit that translocator. The guy that we're turning this into is at the docks. And then I never have to go back to Paw on this character again. Unless we want to do like the Soulfire later on. So I think I remember the Froglok Ghoul like in the entrance of Lower Guck dead side being a little bit lower than even like the bedroom mobs. Wrong way. I might be able to go do that pretty much now for some Shin Greaves. Anyone remember offhand in chat what the entrance? I know the first two mobs in Lower Guck dead side are actually live, but what about that first dead mob? What level is his range? Like 32? Maybe even like 28? Oh, dude, I could definitely go get some Shin Greaves right now. Hey, it's Galaxy Cheetah. This guy streams. He's friends with Keebs. Good dude. He has a fun stream to watch. You know, I'm sure it's gonna feel rare now that I'm gonna like try to farm them, but it seems like the Shin Greaves were super common. Like I used to just always get a pair as I was running through towards bedroom. Yeah, don't watch him now, but when I get off, you should totally watch him. No, I'm just kidding. He's great. You should watch him whenever you like. Oh, 4 p.m. We can run straight through. We'll do an IVU just in case. Yeah, they revamped High Pass. The geometry is like mostly the same, but it looks like a Luckland zone. It's all smooth. It's got too many pixels. No, Gina's pretty simple. It comes with like a default trigger package, but basically you turn on your log file with /logon, you open up Gina, and then you say you want to, make a new pattern or whatever, and you type in whatever text you want to trigger. It's pretty intuitive. The hardest part is probably just like navigating to your log file and having it set to that character. I would say within 30 minutes of dedicated effort, you could have it all figured out and working. Does Kith look different on P99 or something? Oh, well that's because I have my increased gamma. Hang on one sec. There you go. Ah, Captain Stralock? Dude, look how buff this guy is. He looks like that character from The Last of Us 2. I mean, I could tell you the lore of Kithcore again if you want. I feel like I do Kith lore every day. It's really easy to remember too. All right, Kithcore Forest lore. Round 10. So basically, it really deals a lot with high keep. If you're ever in high keep, you'll notice that there are goblins in the basement there. They're kind of like mining underneath high keep. And there are dark elves there behind some of the secret walls. So some of these dark elves maintain connections with the goblins, just on a purely information gathering kind of system. Man, it just got a lot darker, boys. We about to get those nighttime spawns. Anyway, if you've ever been to Runny Eye, you know that there's blackened alloy, blackened iron armor. It's magical when you get it. So that comes from these mines. The Picklaw goblins down there are mining this ore, and they discover the strange black metal. Now the dark elves, through the goblins, discover this. To the goblins, it's just a cool shiny metal, right? They make basic armor out of it, nothing special. But the dark elves, with a closer examination, determine that there's a special property with this ore, and basically it can be used to enable planar travel. Specifically, with it, you can travel to the plane of hate. This black ore that makes your blackened alloy armor is the same fundamental stuff that enables the Dark Elves to make Fulligan Soul Stones of Inaruk. So, discovering this, the Dark Elves decide that they would like to monopolize the supply, right? They'd like to acquire all the Fulligan Soul Stones of Inaruk they can. So they march on High Keep with Lannis Tivol at their head. Oof, look at that darkness. So they march on High Keep. Now in their march to High Keep, they are stopped in their tracks by the Allied the Allied armies led by Verona Vi and the High Elves. A great battle occurs there, and as the High Elves are beginning to win, Inaruk sees that his champion is about to be slain by Verona Vi, and rather than let that happen, Inaruk comes down to Norath himself and kills all the people in Kithakor Forest, including his own followers. He brings Lannis Tivol to Plane of Hate to become like a sort of demigod, his chosen. And forevermore after that, all those who died in Kithakor were cursed to rise again every night as undead and haunt the forest. Now the forest itself, if you were wondering, is named after the GM, the Ranger GM, Kithakor, who resides there. He has some quests for you, and he drops a unique helmet if you ever get the chance to kill him. Anyway, that's the Kithakor Forest lore, and the tale of the Battle of Bloody Kithakor. Yeah, I think the Shralocks that are in Kith don't drop anything anymore, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that he would drop a bag or something cool. Oh, that's cool that you can reenact the battle, Bemis. The helm actually is pretty good, I believe. I'll find a link. It's called the Griffin Helm. 10 AC, 9 Strength, 5 Agility. So yes, it is exceptionally good.
Radio Cutman.
I'm glad that you enjoyed the lore, Nuvis. Hey Ryman, if you do exclamation mark SSF in the chat, it'll give you a little blurb explaining the rule set that I'm running here. Permadeath, can't trade with players. No ports, no buffs. Yeah, Nuvis, they'll be available the instant it opens, and probably within 30 minutes of it opening, there will be a Paladin complete. Dude, I'll pronounce those zones so hard. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to solo Lady Vox and Lord Nagafin. I'd have to do it on a live server and solo myself up to like level 70. Duo SF is going to be a lot of fun, Sever. What class combo you guys going to go with? And are you going to stream it? Note to Battlemore. Turnip, we're doing it on the 4th of July, Saturday morning, and probably some of Sunday morning. I think the dwarf I need to turn this into is like here in the docks area. Oh, he can be on a mountain? That's pretty sweet. There's only like 100 of those in this zone. Hey, that'll be awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Sounds like a nice vacation. Don't get corona. Yeah, he's not around me right now. Oh man, it looks like he paths. He could be all over the place. I'm reading that he paths around this mountain here. I don't feel like making a hotkey to spam target, but I might if we struggle here. So that's this guardhouse right here then. I'll check it out. I would assume that two SSFs playing together, though it would be DSFs. I would assume you would let them trade. I guess it's up to the participants, though. With the exception of like some weird quests, they would always have the same access to items. You know what I mean? Like if a mob dies, either one of them could loot the drops. So it's only like weird faction things and maybe some class-specific quests. There he is. Big Liak with the good infos. Dirkus Battlemore says, "What have you got there, lad? Ak. I thought I would never hear from that crazy old man again. He wants me to give you a pair of me gauntlets. Suppose I can do that. Here you are, Zaide. Wear them in good health. Thanks, dude. Appreciate the dwarf talk." Huzzah, finally, after many days. 3 stamina, 3 dexterity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the weight gains are nice. Nah, we'll keep going for a little bit. Now I want to go get those shin greaves. I know I said we were going to go to Unrest, but let's go try the ghouls. I think Monk would be a really fun set for it because there's a lot of cool Monk quests that you'd be able to work on as you leveled up. If you go Paladin Monk, you basically get like all the best quests in Classic. I don't think so, Nuvis. In fact, it might even have less. Less than P99, that is. Whatever, I'll take the reduced price from Apprehensive. Oh yeah, that's true. Enchanter would be nice. I'm trying to think. I feel like quests have been removed, but I'm not positive, like which ones off the top of my head. I know some quest rewards have been removed, like the bind ring you can get from doing like the Reaper of the Dead quest. We need Riker in the chat. He would know which quests have been totally removed. Oh, well, you know what? The Watchman Boots quest right now isn't in, so we know that's been removed. Temporarily, at least. For the last 10 years. Hey, Kettle One, thanks. We just got the big gem inlaid gauntlets, finally. If we see any cool named up in Upper Guck as we run down to get our Shin legs, we can use the good old taunt trick. It's always so nice looking at monk loot. Oh man, is that the no stat Jade earring though? Questionable gear there. Backstraps of mastery belong on the wrist. Sparks84, thanks for the follow, man. No, Thrawn, I do not do that. Gotta kill the mob myself to loot it. I need to expand on my SSF explanation now because there's so many questions that are kind of common like that I didn't anticipate when I first made that little blurb. I really hate how close the zone line is to these mobs right here. You can't even like walk past the archway. Oh dude, I could find that armadillo out here with the 9 stamina shield. New achievement. Feeling good. The AC is level 30 in South Row, right? Yeah, I could get the Rune Bone Fork. Yeah, but the shield's not magical, so I couldn't bash with it. We'll go back there. So I've got to find some random low-level contraption in Steam font to get the toy, and then I just have to origin back basically to Tox. I'm not sure if like 3 agility is worth the run. Or 2 agility. We were looking at the Aegis of Life. I don't think that I could kill Grimrod. I might do the Silent Watch shield. a nice, flavorful, classic quest. I think my current cloak might be better than Cloak of the Ice Bear. Later, nerds. Yeah, I mean, it's better AC, but I'd lose 3 strength, 3 stamina. As my levels get higher, that stamina will be worth more HP than the Cloak of the Ice Bear. I'm not sure how much I'm going to deal with cold nukes in this run, so the save is probably like largely worthless. Ooblies, we have finished the initial run. We got our Gem Inlaid Gauntlets, finally, at long last. And now we are headed into the depths of Lower Guck, actually the shallowest part of Lower Guck, to get the Shin Greaves. Thereby saving us probably 1,000 platinum pieces. I gotta be careful I don't run into some kind of really dumb troll thing that will kill me. Dude, how are Froglocks dubious to me? I'm a paladin, bro. You were created by Mythmar. I gotta be on the lookout for Troll Slayers and Troll Slayer Captains too. It's a really good faction hit for working on my Linuga faction. I also have to be on the lookout for Linuga because she'll kill me right now if she sees me. Guck is another one of those zones that has like 3 different sets of lore for how it kind of came to be. One legend tells that the Froglocks, of course, were created by Nathaniel Marr, and they have lived in Guck for a long time. And then they were at war with the trolls, who they find offensive. They find the existence of the trolls to be offensive. So one day, a trollish worshipper of Inaruk supposedly ran into the depths of Guck, and before she died, she called on Inaruk to curse the Froglocks, and that's, hey, look, it's one of the guys we need, Troll Slayer. She cursed the Froglocks to have this kind of undead plague, which is what has afflicted the Froglocks and caused the Ghoul Lord and all of that in Lower Guck. And the Froglocks still struggle with fighting off the undead Froglocks to this day. Another lore take on this suggests that the Froglock Ghoul Lord himself was experimenting with powerful necromancy and accidentally unleashed a terrible spell which cursed him and many around him with undeath. And if we ever go into the Ghoul Lord's room during this run, you'll see the fire pots there are very unique. I don't think I've seen them anywhere else in EQ. The fire pots have the symbol of Bertoxilus on them, which kind of makes sense given Bertox's affinity for the undead. So I think the original intention was that there was something Bertox related that caused the Froglocks to become undead. What's up with this Egyptian theme? Like, these aren't even frog locks. Hopefully you guys knew about this secret wall. I think the wall texture we see here is actually not the classic wall texture. I don't know if the classic wall texture had the hieroglyphics like that on there. Man, look at you guys learning new things. Next thing you'll know, you guys will tell me you don't know about the secret room down there. No, I'm sure everyone knows about it. It did have those? Yeah, so it's interesting. We gotta puzzle those one day. Oh man, there's a couple people here. Dude, isn't it crazy that there's like 1,000 people who would rather sit at the lower Guk zone line looking for a group than going to one of the hundreds of other zones available to them to grind in? Imagine wanting to play Guk Quest more than you wanted to play Everquest. Zem's not even that good, dude. I guess I'll go buff myself. Like, this may as well be the EC tunnel. How many of these guys could be in Catch Keep right now, getting that sweet 80% Zem? Oh, I love Guk. But there's just more than Guk in EverQuest, you know what I mean? Guk is my favorite dungeon in EQ, across all eras. Oh no. Wait, did it not pick zone me? I hope the sucker point in this zone is dead side. Oh, I hit cancel. Whoops, what a pleb. Uh-oh, guys. Can we make the right decision without opening the map? My bet is that left is the correct way to go. We're good. We made it. Alright, this Pather is the one we want to kill. There's two Pathers. I think all the frogs back here are live side frogs. Yeah, perfect. This is where we want to be. Wrong spell. Ooh, he got that root off instantly. That reminds me I need to buff myself with Endure Magic. I think they just didn't want people to be able to exploit the faction issues, because it would be too crazy in here. Seems like a safe spot. I wonder if there was ever going to be like a big NPC in this room. Something like a Mugglewump-esque, you know what I mean, from the Warrens. The Mugglewump is kind of just a big froglock tad, right? The other one that we're going to fight is a even con to us, so it's going to require a little bit more mana. We've got Lay on Hands up, so unless we get rooted and trained, we definitely shouldn't die. Is it just me, or did he just pop out of nowhere? He walked up to me. I was looking at chat. Failure. Sucks when they interrupt you right at the end of the cast. Okay, we are totally out of mana. There's the root, of course. We cannot land a single hit. Hey, look at that. Now let's limp off and go heal. Yep, second kill. What now? What was our EXP from that? Like 2.8? Yeah, so just over 2.8. That's pretty nice. Didn't we get a 3%er in Unrest when we killed a even con mob? Yeah, dude. Dr. Steve Brule, check out when I bind wound right now. So I'm at 623 HP. I go to 665. So almost 40 HP. We're still not max. Feels kind of bad having the banded breastplate look. Yeah, so the way it works, Steve, is that it's 1 HP per 4 skill. So at the lower levels, it's really bad at the lower skill levels. But once you skill it up really high, it becomes quite powerful. And the biggest factor here, like the #1 reason why we use it, is that I can meditate and bind wound at the same time. So I'm getting sit regen, meditation mana regen, and binding my wounds. You can't move while you're binding wound or else it'll be interrupted. So like there's no reason that I would, there's nothing else I would do standing up other than just, sitting the whole time. I can't think of anything else I would want to do. There's a clever macro we could use if we were on P99, because P99 lets you target yourself, start the bind wound, target something else, continue combat. So you could bind wound while you're swinging on enemies. But on progression servers, that is fixed / nerfed. Man, look at us, boys. We're all plated up. Right. You rely on your blood to hold the bandage there for a second while you swing. Come back to it. Keep binding. Dude, what if I just drowned here? Maybe we'll just go kill the Shin Lord right now at level 30. I'm like as far as possible away from the Shin Lord right now. That sad moment when a level 50 shaman is camping the Shin Lord. Yeah, Guise of the Deceiver still drops. It's gonna drop for a long time. Like it drops even during the first bit of Kunark. I've basically never messed around in this side of Upper Guk. I always use a very specific route. Oh, what's up, dude? Looks like he should be like a little shopkeeper or a banker. "50 Shaman, 50 Mage, camping the Shin Lord." Yeah, Mana Stone doesn't drop on this server. I feel like this is an ethical question. Are you selling loot rights? I hope he says no. Ah, he's got a Paladin. Okay. I forgive him. Whew, he's been here for 13 hours. I'm gonna have to like bat phone that stream when he pops. And the Ghoulbane is his rare drop as well, right? Yeah, he is a nice guy. I see that someone is camping the item here. A level 50 is camping this item. That's that Guck life, boys. I think this is the same guy that we ran into in Unrest the other day. Oh, I can't use the fork? Well, there we go. Good to know. I just assumed. You see that hidden room? Look at that hidden geometry back there. What is this? Why is this here? What is so bad on the other side that they decided to board up the only door the Froglocks have in their entire city? Yeah, I think you're probably right about the Karen toy. Yeah, there's a place just like that in Soleil with that weird wall that doesn't have a trap too. As soon as you come down like the lava bridge thing, and then you look straight, there's that door in that little hallway before the kind of portcullis room. You can see it. Both walls are like that.
You think you have a chance against me and all my men?
Man, this zone is foggy. No, Guck is the Froglock city. Grob is the Troll city. There's like a big log out here that has an Eldon dungeon entrance. Weird bugs. Yep, I remember that. The good old days when the frogs took over. Yeah, the Dark Elves. So for a long time, the trolls lived in Neriak Foreign Quarter when the frogs took their city. What we would like to find, ideally, is a troll slayer.
Hey, got me.
Yeah, I'll come back and hunt for him sometime in the future. We don't need him until we have a little stockpile of platinum for rubies anyway. I know a decent amount of lore about the barbarians. So there used to be a lot more barbarian civilization out there in the Everfrost region. They spread basically across the plain, but they were pushed back by the frost giants, and it kind of went back and forth. There was like a magical horn that one of the barbarian leaders used to trap the frost giants so that they couldn't destroy all the barbarian tribes. I'm pretty sure that's the gist of the story. I'd have to like look it up to get the names. It's probably Mick something. Yeah, it's probably Mick Vaxius. There you go. That is probably very much related to why Vox drops the horn. Good thinking, Blixie. Yeah, I want to kill both of them. They both give me like plus 28 faction with Linuga for killing them. I need to kill a total of 9 to be dubious to do my turn-ins. A sand giant. Some of those characters for the Bard's songs were like box art characters, like one of the Wood Elves. Yeah, turnip. It only took me 2 kills to get the Shingreaves. They were indeed common. I feel like 2020 standards might consider this depiction of a sand giant to be racially insensitive. I would love to get the J boots if I just happen to see them as I run through, but right now we're just heading toward Unrest. We'll do some grinding, farm some plat there and stuff. A lot of things coming up on the horizon in the next like 5 levels. We want to get our J boots. We want to get our Walking Sleep hammer. I always forget the name of that hammer for some reason. And we want to get our IV hoop. We want to do all of those things by level 36 before we fight the Shin Lord. Midnight Mallet, there we go. Hey, thanks for the follow, Yankerton. It's so strange that this orc is on good faction terms with me. Hey, Jukarkan, if you look in the chat there, we have a little blurb that describes kind of what SSF is and what the rule set for this run is. Yeah, my hope is that between J-Boots, the Midnight Mallet, and the Evander's Hoop, I'll be able to solo the Shin Lord at level 36. I will taunt pull him to the zone line solo and fight him there. Well, Murph, the AC in South Row is like 10 levels lower than the Ocean of Tears AC. That's why we think it's possible. The Midnight Mallet is a clicky. So I think with the Midnight Mallet, I'll probably be able to keep him slowed just about the entire fight. Mallets aren't super rare either, so if we have to retry, it won't be a big deal. We just want to hold on to our Evander's Hoop charges until he's like low. We'll have to burn through the first lay on hands and then get him to like 40%. Whenever he starts healing, that's when we want to push with IV hoops. See if we could burn him before he manages to cast 10 greater healings on himself. I don't know. I'm going to use a Strength of Earth potion. I don't know about damage shield pots. Are there damage shield pots that I can farm? If so, I will do them. We're going to want every conceivable advantage for the fight. There's like a decent chance that I would just die trying to farm something in Soleil. Also, the Fire Pet Clicky, I believe, comes from Upper Guck. If you're evil, you'll already be good with the faction. If you're not evil, it's one of the pirate factions, like Broken Skull or something. And yeah, it just requires a ruby. It's RNG. You can either get a crappy sword, you can get a Midnight Mallet, or you can get an Evander's Hoop. Yep, exactly that, Lord Zev. Spectres might be good at a higher level. They're pretty risky and very powerful. So I'd have to test it somewhere kind of safe. Yeah, for people who don't already know, on the 4th of July, myself, a very loving robot, Keebs, and Bobby Bick, with 2 others off stream, we'll be doing a 1 through 50 run. It's going to be 1 marathon stream. We're going to pretty closely emulate the way you would level up if you were starting on a fresh server the moment it came out, minus all the crashing and login issues. So we'll be, starting naked, level 1 characters. We won't be using high level out of group help. We won't be twinking at all. Interesting on that lava potion. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing that, feel free to jump in on the 4th of July and probably a bit of the 5th of July. We're all going to be, so we're coordinating this. It's meant to look like if you were trying to race to hit level 50 first or as fast as possible. So we're all going to be the same race. We're going to start in the same city. If you're starting somewhere else from the rest of your static group on a server launch, you're already behind the curve. Hey, thanks for the follow, Solid Mumu. Yeah, we have classes picked out. It's going to be Enchanter, Cleric, Mage. It'll be worse because we're going to have 2,000 people camping at all the other camps. Normally by like level 5 or 6, I never have to contest another group for camps. But this, you know, because this is actually not a server launch, there will be people ahead of us and at the same level as us the entire way through. So we'll have not as much free reign to dominate zones. The only thing we might do that won't be legit is we might pre-research some spells, specifically a lore. Normally during the race, you would use a quaff to ensure that you could get a lore 100%. But I don't want someone to have to spend like $30 or $40 just for this stream. The only way to get a quaff is to get it as part of the 40 slot bag package. No, Loon Poly, we're just we're doing a 1 through 50 marathon stream on the 4th of July. It's gonna be like 24 to 30 hours, I would expect. Hey, Jukarkin, this is a level 30 Paladin. I did. I got there solo with no buffs, no ports, pretty much no outside help of any kind, without any deaths, and I've farmed all my gear myself. Yeah, they know what they're signed up for. I don't think any of them will be deleting their characters. I'll leave it up to the chat whether I delete my character. Maybe we'll do like a cheer war. Everyone can cheer for either delete or not delete, whichever one wins. I'll delete or not delete. Yeah, I've gone purple twice. If you want to see the links of those VODs, you can just type !purple. Or not the VODs, sorry, the clips. My friend Melusine is playing the Enchanter Shin. If I gave it away, I'd get banned for like trading accounts. Yeah, she's in That's EQ Baby right now, but she's been in Faceless for like 10 years now, so I consider her a Faceless member who just happens to be playing in EQ Baby since there's no Faceless on this server. You guys will see, she's a talented enchanter. I don't expect we'll have any issues at all. Lord Zev, we were not. We were on a bunch of emulated servers. We were on Vulak, test server, Lockjaw, Agnar, and Cello. It depends on what kind of buffs you want. A Bard could be good. Bard is easiest to box. But I mean, if you want clarity, you're going to have to go with an Enchanter. Yeah, they were on Ragefire. I forgot about that. Hey Thal, long time no see, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me would be interested in doing Classic again, but I don't know what my real life situation will be like at the time. You know, if I'll really have the time to do it. Lord Zev, the difference is tremendous. It took me 39 hours to hit 50 on a full static group with the mage, and we're pushing 9 days played right now to get level 30 on the Paladin. So 39 hours to level 50 in a full group. Who knows how many days played to get level 50 on a Paladin solo. The easiest solo class would be Necromancer, I think. No, I've been spending most of my time in dungeons, Drukarkin. We basically did, what did we do? We did like Blackbro, we did Crushbone, we did Unrest, we did a ton of Paw, we did High Keep, Basement, High Pass, and now we're going back to Unrest. Yeah, Necro would still be pretty slow. Wouldn't be nearly as slow as the Paladin is. Yeah, I think the cellos and the clarity song and everything for Bardbot would be good. It just depends on what class you're using for your main. Because like mage pets don't get benefited from Bard songs right now, I don't think. So kind of like if you're a mage, what's the point? As a Necromancer, regen and stuff could be nice. But honestly, if I was going to say a good duo for Necro, I'd go with Shaman or Druid. Spirit of Wolf plus regen when you're liching is really powerful. Bard's also going to, I mean, the Druid's also going to bring ports and stuff. Shaman brings slow. ID Hiker, thanks for the follow, man. We've had some close calls, Chukarkin, that's for sure. You know, it's mostly a lot of luck, I say. We've been very fortunate. Yeah, Paw is only 20%, though, you know, it's worth noting that 20% is an extremely low Zem. And Paw's not like a super easy dungeon either, so I feel like it should be higher, personally. You know, if I die on this character, I'll probably give all the gear away. Like if this Title Lord that I just ran into kills me, I'd probably give all the gear away to some of the viewers or something. We'd do some kind of raffle. Mr. Vindy, thanks for the follow, dude. Oh, look, it's Banish. Banish is my friend who's doing the cleric solo. So the Shin Greaves were just an alternate route for gearing. So, you know, we're like 60 points away from Trivial on the Fine Plate Greaves. And I realized it was going to be a huge plat sink to bridge that gap and make them successfully. The Shin Greaves were free, fast, only 2 AC worse, and they do give me 5 disease resist. So I figured it was worth it, so we could put more money into rubies and try to get a Evander Soup. Fibbit, thank you for the follow, man. I wonder if we're going to be able to solo Garanel Ruxif down here at one point. Shadow Knight Shaman is a huge, very popular combo, very powerful. Slightly overplayed, in my opinion. But I'm a monk main, right? So take my complaints about being overplayed with a grain of salt.
Invis dropping on Zaide's.
Rip. So this is the door that is locked now, right? Or is it this door? I want to drop the key. Let me drop it. Whatever. Hey Jolinar, I'm using Gina, which does audio triggers based on text logging. Turnip, it's really not as bad as you might think. I don't know, I've played on TLPs for a long time, and I think the problems that you read about on the forums are largely overstated. I would go with Druid. Shaman is probably a little bit more powerful, but I think Necro has some really good... I think Druid has some really good utility. Being able to port and stuff. Druids also have improved buffs now too. Or not improved buffs, sorry, improved dots. And if you ever need to mess around in a good city with Druid and Necro, you have both faction combos. Though Shaman Necro is probably a more powerful combo overall. So that other noise you just heard is my audio trigger for bandaging being completed. I could do basement probably to like 40, dude. Monk Shaman's a powerful combo. I mean, it's like such a classic combo that everyone knows works really well. But I think nowadays, Shaman Shadow Knight is better than Shaman Monk. It would technically be possible as a rogue. You just have to do like a lot of quest EXP, even though quests are super nerfed. No, all class race bonuses are gone. Yeah, the EXP is really good. I mean, for me, it's like inordinately good, you know, since I can solo much easier here. Yeah, so now the only reason to play any particular combo of race class is just, you know, like flavor or min-maxing. Though, I mean, really, you do not need to min-max in classic EQ. I mean, look what I'm doing right now, you know what I mean? Nice, so about 50 kills a level. It's not bad. No, they still have the racial bonuses and stuff, just not EXP related bonuses or penalties. So you still have stun immunity, various resist modifications for different races. XR still have AC bonus. Dude, we finally got a skill up. Maybe I'm being crazy, but it still feels super dangerous here. Like, all the bodies here reinforce my opinion. Yeah, I feel like this room would be really tough for me to split. I need more mana before I'd be comfortable trying that hag with all the potential adds. There's not really any ghouls in the basement, right? So like if I'm strictly down there at my level, I should be avoiding ghoul route. My big risk is like a hard cast in still or something from one of these hags.
What was that for? Can't have you going soft on me, boy.
So we think if I pull that Dusty Werebat at the east end, all the way around here, back up towards like the first floor, the mobs in the center on the bottom floor here will not add. Oh yeah, she's gonna spam root. It'll be the first and last spell she casts. Oh, there's two hags too. That one's an even con. So yeah, the question here is just whether or not the mobs down here will assist him if I pull him around. You know what? I don't even want to fight a werebat. He's not undead. Oh, that lag spike that just turned me around. Well, no one can say that we just play it safe. I'm scared to put it on, dude. See my heart rate like 900 beats per minute. No stream in EQ right now captures the tension that we do. Hey Taryn, this is a polished granite tomahawk. Uh-oh, mobs to zone? From where? It's got to be a really high probability. Like, if I wanted to play it safe and just be outdoor, like, taking my time, I think we could increase the odds of making it to 50 without death quite a bit. This is just not really my style. Yeah, it procs Berserker strength. No, Fardar, I don't have time to do all that. Besides, you can't beat a Zerg. Dude, the PGT is so good. I'm tempted to pull something while I have this proc still up. Mana is low. We'll see what we could do though. See, these guys see through my IVU. I want to try it, but I really don't want to get rooted. We actually need to met up a lot to do a hag. We need to be able to burst her down with our nuke. $36 mana. I mean, I guess I have 5 casts. Yeah, I'm just EXPing here. The named is like level 36. Yeah, Dwarven work boots in the ring. I'm more interested in the ring, to be totally honest. I guess there's no rush because our Berserker strength wore off. I'm right there with you, Turnip. Alright, I'll regen 40 more mana just to cover my IVU, and then we'll go ahead and pull the hag. They're just an upgrade for me. Better AC, some disease resist. They're only 2 AC less than Fine Plate, but it lets me save a lot of plat by stopping the push for Fine Plate Greaves. I feel like my mana just spiked while I was talking about that. Went up like 40 points or something. Alright, we gotta redo that Soothe. Maybe I should soothe him too. Yeah, we got a werebat. That's a good question set for using the Z-axis. Yeah, silver-plated leggings are probably an option at some point. Oh, I gotta save some mana too, because this guy will run. I think I could beat this without having to heal. But like all it takes is one good round for him to kind of put me in a bad position. Just to be safe. I love when I proc my stun og that breaks root. He won't run if there's another enemy nearby that he thinks is like in assist range. We did see a sand giant earlier that conned yellow to us. Right. Alright guys, so we've been going for 3.5 hours now. We'll cut it off here and we'll look forward to another session. I think I'll do a session tomorrow in the morning again. I know Saturday gets pretty crowded with people. But yeah, so look for more tomorrow. It's been a good one. We had some big upgrades and some good moments here. Thanks for coming out.
what's up? Whoa!
Zaide God rated my stream with 108 viewers on Twitch.
Zaide God. Dude. Thank you very much for the raid, man. I'm not even doing anything that fun. Ah, what you do to me, man. Now, how's everybody doing? Hey, hey. Much appreciated, man.